Hello and welcome to the final video this week of my experiments on Football Manager 2019, and today is a transfer embargo special. So the premise is what I've done. I've disabled the first transfer window as well, but I've put Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal on a 50-year transfer embargo. I did mean to put Tottenham on there as well, but I absolutely forgot, and then I had sinned about 20-30 years before I even realised. Being an Arsenal fan, you can forgive me for getting Tottenham. To Tottenham fans out there, I'm sure you won't be too worried, but I did forget because this actually gives you a chance to win some trophies over the next couple of years. So yeah, so we've gone to 2068. Those 5 clubs are banned from any transfers. So basically what we're going to see is how long before this hegemony of, is that how we pronounce it? I think it is, of the big clubs in England is broken in the Premier League. You know, how long is it going to take for someone else who hasn't won the title, or hasn't won the title for a good few years out of those, well, Liverpool aren't included in that, I guess, because they haven't won a Premier League title either, but obviously Manchester City, Man United, Chelsea in recent history have won titles, Arsenal less distant history, and obviously Liverpool goes back a bit further, but in terms of league titles numbers, very much up there. So we'll see how they get on, how long it will take for that to happen. Can these clubs' academies, they've got very good youth facilities, Manchester City in particular, Arsenal I'm pretty sure should have as well, I'm pretty sure. So can they sustain them over these 50 years, and can they consistently produce players that will, you know, help them compete and keep them in the Premier League, keep them competing in the Premier League, and maybe even keep them competing for titles in the future? Will we see a new powerhouse take charge? You know, with these 5 clubs sort of being oppressed in submission, will someone step up, take the plate and just dominate English football for the next 50 years, or however many, or for a good period of time? We'll see that as well. I mean, if they have to sell all their big players and rely on the youth academies, will that keep them rich? Will they fall down the leagues a little bit and fall out of money? Or who knows? It's something that we can look at and try and pinpoint. And we'll find out as well, again, is Pep Guardiola a success because of money or because of him? If he's there for a couple of years and he doesn't win the title because they can't buy anyone, then I guess we can say it's because of the players, can't we? So what I've done, I've simulated 1 year forward, but we'll have a quick look at those just to prove what we've done. Here we go. Don't have to click into the club, that's handy. Rich, but a transfer ban until 2nd of June 2068. Man United should be the same. 2nd of June 2068. Chelsea, 2nd of June 2068. Liverpool, 20th of June 2068. And Arsenal, 20th of June 2068. Now I'm just going to double check I didn't do Tottenham. Nope, I didn't. I did forget. I was hoping I might have actually done it, but yeah, I unfortunately didn't. There is scope again in this one. Of course, we're obviously going to go to 50 years ahead now, 2068 shortly. There is a scope to it. If we maybe see, now the transfer embargo is finished, if we go another, I don't know, 20 years, or maybe another 50 years, that might take a little bit of a while for my laptop and my work computer, because it sims them very slowly at the moment. Even leaving it overnight at work, it only got me about 18 seasons in. You know, are these clubs going to recover? Have they got the financial clout to get back up there and compete once again? So it depends where they finish up after those 50 years, I guess. I mean, 50 years is a long time in football. So what we'll do, we will load now 50 years in the future and look at a few things.
3 weeks later.
So here we are, 2068, and 50 years has passed, so there's not going to be there's not going to be any players playing still that were start of the game 50 years on. Even some of the managers are going to have been and gone by now. Players are going to have quit, become managers, and then quit again, perhaps. As you see, insecure jobs, Man United, Andrew Yates, no idea who he is. Means absolutely nothing to me. So what we're going to do, well, first of all, we'll look at the clubs individually. We'll see how they get on. So we'll start alphabetically. I think we'll go Arsenal. They're 11th in the Sky Bet Championship. They've just finished 11th in the Championship. So as we can see here, we can't go back far enough, but from 2046-47 they've been in the Championship. They've been up. They've been a bit of a yo-yo team, and then kind of stuck in the Championship for a good long while. Not in threat, really, of dropping out of the Championship, it doesn't look like. Got back in the Premier League for one season, straight back down. Now the manager is currently John Wales. We've got to go one more day till we see the transfer ban. We'll have a look at John Wales. Who is he? 65 years old. He's quite a good manager. Did he have a playing career? Very average playing career. in terms of the clubs he's been to, the value he's had. So yeah, they've not got the best there. Still, only got a national reputation now. They are rich though. We can't see exactly how without creating a manager with them, which I'm not going to do. Still at the Emirates Stadium, still got the same capacity. Surprised they haven't maybe put some more of that money into stuff like that. If we have a look at the facilities, even pitch condition, all still very good, still superb training, below average data analysis, excellent youth. I thought again they would have put more money into that. I'm pretty sure they can still. History managers. If we go right back here, so Unai Emery, Lundberg was the caretaker. They then brought Patrick Vieira in. He lasted 7 years, 3 cup wins, so the most successful manager in all that time by the looks of it. We've got Zinedine Zidane, Ryan Gary, an ex-player who was caretaker for a little while. He's done it a few times by the looks of it. Sergio Conceição, is the old Real Madrid player, I think. Lazio, Parma, Inter. I thought he played for Real Madrid. It's not the same Conceição, but I do remember him at Inter and Lazio. He was the attacking midfield right winger, the one that Real Madrid was the holding midfielder. Yeah, I do remember him. Gary, okay, and then after that, João Moutinho had the spell there. Ryan Gary was caretaker for absolute donkey's years with them. Anyone else real famous names jump out? No, we're getting to the time of the new gens now, aren't we? Shannon Ruth, bit of a Babe Ruth throwback there, that caretaker manager. David Jones, bit of a regular name. Yeah, we're in there. Alan Kelly, I don't think it's the same Alan Kelly. Any big years? So yeah, 4 years, 3 years, 8. Okay, that's caretaker. I was about to say 1 year, 2. So a few that Diego Dallo. Is he the one that was at Man United? It obviously hasn't saved his history. I think Man United signed him this season. A few, yeah. So after Patrick Vieira, not much longevity at all. He was sacked, so didn't have the best season. But let's have a look at their players now. Obviously, we're not going to recognise anyone. If we look at, okay, I wanted to look at potential and ability and all that. I think because we're not in charge of them, I can't find a view. None of my views are showing it, so maybe I can't see it. But 14 million for this guy here, 19 years old, a wonder kid. So they've had a wonder kid, I guess, must have come through the academy. He's done all right at the Championship level. Also, he was in their Premier League season as well. Yes, that's kind of an overview of Arsenal. So we'll skip on to Chelsea now. Chelsea also in the Championship, as you can see. Still got this cold, well, I'm recording this straight on the back of Pundit Premier League, which you're going to have to see Thursday now. That's decided my order. So yeah, Chelsea is still rich for one more day. Currently have a Zimbabwean in charge. Looks not too bad. What was his career history? Again, a very average lower league career to be managing Chelsea, but obviously they're down in the Championship. As you can see, again, they've been down there. Similar to Arsenal, we can't go back and see the full. Let's see if we can do it this way. I mean, you can, but I'm not too worried about going too far back. Actually, we'll go back to Arsenal. We will see exactly when they got relegated. When did it start? So if we're going too far back. So we are 18-19. So 3rd, 4th, 4th. We start to see a bit of decline now. 8th, 9th, 7th, 13th, 14th. The first relegation is into 39-40. Then it's a bit of a yo-yo. Yeah, a bit of a yo-yo going on, but then it's from 51-52. It is just consistent Championship. A lot of 5th, 4th, so a few playoff places. Finally get back up, finishing 2nd on 101 points. One season, and then straight back down to Championship, and 8th and 13th. So kind of that's where they are now. Chelsea, we go back to 18-19. Right, so yeah, good run. Got to, so it was earlier. They went down, but they came straight back up. Then straight back down in 39-40, and with the odd little spell back up. They actually been down to League One. Okay, they got straight back up. Back up to the Premier League again, so good bounce back ability there, just to chuck in an old football cliche. Down to Championship, back down to League One, and then back up to the Championship. But let's have a look at their managers. So if we go right back here, so Sarri, we're going to hide caretakers, we don't need to see them. Did I just see Franny Jeffers? Can't have been that far ahead. Fatih Terim came in, he retired after Sarri. So Sarri stayed there for 2 years. He left in 2021. Ancelotti came back for another spell. He was sacked. Dan obviously went to Arsenal as well, but he left at Chelsea as well, sacked. Allegri came in, sacked. I mean, so far we're seeing this guy here. I don't know him. He's got two. Sarri gets up with 3 cups. Chris Smalling. He was sacked. Decore as well. And I think at this point now we are now seeing. Yeah, I didn't see Franny Jeffers. I thought that would be a bit of a surprise. But we don't really see anyone in there too much. But yeah, Rich still. We have a look at the facilities. They've got everything. Poor data analysis. Everyone's got poor data analysis. I guess they don't really need it if they're not scouting players. They haven't bothered spending the money, which is fair enough. Great youth facilities, excellent junior coaching, extensive youth recruitment. So yeah, Chelsea following a similar path to Arsenal, though have dropped further down, probably a bit quicker, but everything else in terms of training, stuff like that, managerial merry-go-round, that kind of stuff. Chelsea are owned by the fans, so they don't have an owner anymore. So the ground hasn't been expanded, anything like that. So I thought that would have happened. Let's have a look at Arsenal. They weren't owned by the fans, were they? No, owned by the club. So I presume that's still the same, still got chairman and all that. Yes, they've had takeovers, of course. So Chelsea owned by the fans, very interesting. So we're going to have a look at Liverpool now. 24th in the Championship they have just finished. They're going to be in League One. Secure, so they're not even rich. So they've been losing money. So they have been down in League One a good bit of a yo-yo back up, but a good few, real decline for them. Still at Anfield, 54% capacity, used capacity. So does that mean some of it's closed? I'm guessing. They were expected to finish bottom of the Championship as well when they came back up. Let's go to facilities. I think that's what I meant to tick anyway. Owned by the club still. Again, adequate data analysis. They've kept it up a little bit. Great youth facilities, exceptional junior, extensive youth. So they've 54. Does that mean Anfield's been expanded? I think it does. It might be in the games. I think it's happening anyway, so it might be that we're looking at. We didn't really look at Chelsea players. We'll have a quick look at Liverpool. They've still got a player worth 8.75. He's 21, so is he a wonder kid? Striker. He's obviously come through the ranks. Had a loan at Cyprus. He's doing okay. Probably will be poached off them at some point. No one else, obviously no one jumps out, but no one particularly valuable. We'll have a quick back look at Chelsea actually, because we didn't look at their squad, did we? Doing a bit higgledy-piggledy here. So if we do by value, so they've got a £12 million player. He's 22. So these are all youth academy. He's Nigerian, but I imagine he's obviously come through England. He's all right actually. He's pretty good. I mean, good lot of assists for a centre midfielder. I mean, he's pretty good on a lot of money. Few others, not too much there to write about. But we go back to Liverpool. I think we covered everything with Liverpool. Really, we didn't look at the managers, did we? So we go right down to the bottom. I just saw Xherdan Shaqiri, so he obviously came back. A lot of similar names. So we saw Klopp here sacked. He did win a league, so he won the league title in his time before the decline set in. Antonio Conte then got another 2 league titles. I presume in the Premier League. Yeah, Premier League. And 3 cups. Did he get a Champions League? Carabao Cup, Community Shield, FA Cup. And then Sergio Conceição as well. We were seeing at Chelsea a minute ago, I think. Pep Guardiola, he just resigned. Did his 3-year stint that he does and left. Patrick Vieira again, seeing a lot of similar names. Kofeld, Allegri we saw as well. This is the decline here. No league or cup wins here. Xherdan Shaqiri sacked. Now we're getting into, I think he was an ex-Arsenal player. Youth player, Tyrese John Jules. Jairo Riedewald, so not completely in the... Oh, Shaqiri came back and he was sacked again. Now we're getting into the... Yeah, we're getting into that point. 1 league win and cup win, that's obviously down in the Championship, League 1 or Championship. No, League 1, isn't it? It must be if it's more recent. And he's still there after 41 days. Not a great lot of longevity. 1 and 2 years maximum, really. Not even, some of them not even making a year. So that's absolutely crazy. So let's have a look at Manchester City. So they're also currently in Championships, and none of them have actually so far survived. I think I just saw Man United when it clicked up on the search. And none of them have survived the Premier League all this time. They've all had a decline or a dip. They've probably been in the Championship. They've dipped down into League 1, and I'm guessing they've just finished... Oh no, they finished second last season in the League 1, and they've just finished 19th in Championships. They have survived. So they are still rich. If we go to managers, be interesting to see if they're still owned by the Qatari guys. So Guardiola sacked after 2 years, 315 days, 1 league and 1 cup, Carabao Cup. Allegri comes in, he's there for 12 years, wow, 4 leagues, 14 cups, only Champions Leagues. Club World Championships they must have done, yeah, 2026, wow, so he was there for a good long stint. Vieira again. Nedum Anua as well has come in for 4 years, he's done quite well, he's won a league. We've got Ben Gibson, obviously the former Borough, I think Bolton player I think he's Borough, if so I'm thinking of. He left, he wasn't sacked. Kofeld, we've seen him a few times, I don't know who he is. Ben Gibson comes back, not content with being sacked once, he comes back for a second spell. And do we see James Carter just down here as well? Did he go and come back? No. I think, yeah, we're completely... Tommy Cotton is there now, 128 days, but a real void of any sort of success here. We've got what's this? Checker Trade Trophy winners in 2059. So what's that, like 9 years ago? Crazy. So they are still rich. Are they owned by the Qataris still? No, Matthew Johnson's, they've been bought out. If we go to general, no, we don't want to go to general, we want to go to facilities. They are owned by, say, this one said, the other ones have had owned by a club. So I don't know what's going on here. They still have good corporate, superb training, superb youth. Still got a pretty good sponsorship deal till 2071. I mean, it's not amazing, but for a League One Championship sort of floating club, exceptional junior, extensive youth. So yeah, if we go back, did we look at this at Liverpool? Go to overview, view history. Where did the decline start? I don't think we did. We'll go back and have a look at that in a minute. Oh no, we're used to seeing Championship with their history because that's what they were. So they're second, first. So we're competing for a good few years. Second, first, a lot of first and seconds. Dropped down to 6th in 28-29. Obviously Allegri was around at this sort of time, I think, so he was winning cups and trophies, 2nd, 3rd, 6th. So the first relegation was 33-34. 34 points was all they could muster. Bounced straight back up with 103 points the following season. A couple of mid-table finishes and then dropped down again in 37-38. Very yo-yo Man City, very up and down, up and down. When did the rot really set in? So they 27-58 they dropped into League One, and then a few years in the Championship, and then a few years in League One, and now they bounced back up. So they could be on the rise up, especially now this transfer embargo is going to finish. They could be very set to spend a bit of money and just fly up the table. Obviously, we don't know what Brexit has happened in this game. I don't know if there's a way of checking that. And obviously, that they can only spend so much, a percentage of their their wage budget increase or something now, isn't it? I think so. I think I messed up with my Arsenal save, which if I do a second season will be coming out probably soon. You'll see. We probably fail at FFP. That's Manchester City done, I think. So we'll go to the other Manchester club, the Red side. They are still in the Premier League. Well, they're in the Premier League. They have been down to Championship for quite a good few years, and they finished 6th last season, got in the playoffs, and they finished 18th. So they are actually going back down again. So they are rich, still got a good reputation. So we'll check their history, see how they've been doing. Not competitive as Man City, but still in there. Good few years. I mean, 7th, 8th, 6th, 4th, and then they survived the longest. I mean, they're in right here. It's not until 54-55 that they hit the Championship, and then they kind of struggle in there. They find their kind of level there for a good period of time, and that's where they've been. They've got promoted this. Where are we now? 67-68. So they got promoted from the Championship last season through the playoffs, and they've gone straight back down this season. So have a look at their managers. I'm guessing Mourinho stayed there for a good while. He did 10 years till 2027. He was sacked. He didn't retire. He was sacked. Ancelotti came in. He was there for a year and a half. Don't know Bruno Genesio, but he came in for 3 years, but completely trophyless and void here this time. Chris Smalling came back for 3 years, 4 days. He was sacked. Conceição again, we've seen him. Doucouré, we've seen him a couple of times. Once, I think. Shaqiri, he left. I think he leaves and doesn't get sacked. Did he leave Liverpool? I think he did. Danny Carvajal, that's the right back at Real Madrid. He was there for 4 years. But again, a real void. 1 cup in all this time, which was the European Cup, to be fair, which I think is the Europa League. I might be wrong. I've got to get these trophy names. I thought I did the trophy names, to be honest. And then a lot of 1 year, 2 years, less than a year, that sort of thing. Real void of any sort of competition. Andrew Yates is there. He's been there for 30 days. I think his job is, as the holiday was happening just towards the end, it shows you the insecure jobs. I think I saw Man United insecures, so he could be on his way. If we saw it at the start, didn't we? Yeah, we did. So yeah, I didn't pay too much attention. I just saw that when it looked at the date, it was very nearly finished, and it said Man United in trouble. So I noticed that. We don't need to look at the history. Just looked at that, haven't we? Facilities. They are owned by the club. Still got a very good stadium, top corporate facilities. Okay, they're actually at the Matt Busby Arena, which was built in 2062. Okay, interesting. I don't think any of the others. I didn't notice the year. So was there a new Anfield? I don't think there was. Man City, I'm pretty sure, was still at the Etihad. So Man City have gone and built a new stadium, 70,000 all-seater. Obviously, they're in the Champions League for a bit longer, but they've only built that a couple of years ago when they were a Championship club. Top corporate, still got the great data analysis. They're more prepared going into it, into the Embargo finishing. They've got a 15-year sponsorship deal for 12 million a year, which is the best one we've seen. 2074. So that's got another, what's that? About 8 years, 6 years left on it, something like that. 6 years, and they've got everything exceptional and youth. We'll look at their players quickly. They got Christian Edge, 29. He's obviously a academy player. He's not capped for England. Obviously, he's been down at the Championship for a good few years, so not surprisingly, a lot of assists, not many goals. Yeah, he's not amazing, but he's worth 23.5 million somehow. Matt Tinian. A lot of them Man United players seem to be a bit older, and kind of on their way out. This guy's not that. Oliver Miles. He's Danish. 17 caps, 8 goals, is that, or 5 goals? He's wanted by Derby. Okay, so he's come through Esbjerg's youth facility before. Man United's youth facility have snapped him up in the Championship. He's done alright, not amazing, but he's done okay. Doesn't sound very Danish, Oliver Miles. Billy Neville, I wonder if he's related to Gary Neville at all. Doesn't say so. I mean, he could be his son. I don't think so, because I'm not sure Gary Neville's completely in the game. There he is, because he was on my pundit game. He was. Paul Madden. They've got a lot of. I mean, is Mick Neville related to one of the Neville brothers? Touted as the next Paul Gascoigne. Okay, how good? Yeah, looks pretty good. 21 years old. Yeah, he looks not too bad. And my laptop decided to just power up and stop making a load of sound. Of course it has. But yeah, he looks pretty decent. Certainly for Championship level. He'll be getting snapped up, I am sure. So that looks at that. So what we'll do now, we'll look at the Premier League. We'll see any strange teams in here at the moment. So Southampton have just won it. 85 points, clear of Tottenham, Cardiff. So let's any new teams in here. Not really. Coventry are back up. Well, they've gone back down again, but they were back up in the Premier League. Any random non-league teams 50 years on sitting in the tables. Don't like to see that. Arsenal there. MK Dons, no. Exeter have climbed back up, but they're going back down again. We've got the League One. Anyone here? Anyone big dropped down here that we maybe not expecting? Aston Villa are down in this division. Norwich have just got promoted again out of it. Wrexham have climbed up. Forest Green have Hartlepool's gone back up there. But Aston Villa Swindon going down. We go to League 2. Bolton have just scrambled back up. Wigan are down here. Fylde, they've climbed up from the non-league levels. Bromley as well. Survived as well. Aldershot as well. Kidderminster. Team back in the 90s are always in the league, but in the league format, but not at the moment. I don't think we added the National League. No, we didn't. Anyone disappeared out of obscurity that we need to think about? Salford got out of it at one point. And my voice is completely going. Bradford City, that actually is Bradford City, isn't it? So they've been down in the conference. Wickham have been down there. Walsall, Port Vale, Northampton. Wow, some big old teams have fallen away. Obviously, some are going to fall from League 2, but some of these are League 1. Bristol Rovers, some of them are in Championship sides, in fairly recent years. So we'll go back to the Premier League, and we're going to look at. If it lets me go back up, there we go, Premier League. So we're going to look at past winners, 18-19. So we saw Liverpool win it, and City and Arsenal. not much changes. And then Tottenham grab one, Liverpool grab a couple more, Man City, Tottenham are still in and around there, not too surprising. And then Tottenham go on a good, what's that, 7 year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 year run. What's that, 9 out of 10. Everton grab a couple in that time, West Ham are in there, a good run for West Ham there. Newcastle grab a couple of league titles, Bournemouth, Southampton, so a few South Coast top 3 finishes in there. Tottenham go on another run, Newcastle grab a couple, Southampton and Bournemouth get down to the South Coast again, Tottenham grab another one, Newcastle, so a lot of similar teams still now find out. And Southampton, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Tottenham, they're all around and winning lots of titles. If we go to records, most times winner is now Tottenham. They have taken over Manchester United's record of most Premier League titles. Points of the season is, well, that was last year, Man City. Sheffield United, 8 points in 24-55. If you're watching Cleon, I'm very sorry. I might have to tag you in this just in case you do miss this video, just to watch this one. I'm sorry, mate. That's shocking scenes for Man United. Only fairly recently, about 14 years ago. We've got fewest wins in a season. That was an old record. One. Most league defeats was obviously Sheffield United that season, 32. Fewest was Preston. I mean, that should be Arsenal as well. 0. Fewest, most draws, Norwich. So yeah, that's nothing we need to worry about. Highest attendance, Tottenham. Okay, so Tottenham have got a new ground by the looks of it. So let's have a look at Tottenham. I'm presuming they are. Let's have a look at profile. Presuming they are worldwide rich, of course. I mean, look at that. That's not a bad run for so many years, is it? They are in the Tottenham Stadium, original, built in 2056. They've got another stadium after New White Hart Lane, 106,000 all-seater. I mean, that is just incredible, absolutely incredible. Back to the records. So yeah, this was here. That's an old record. Highest average was Tottenham about 10 years ago. Still Man United in 95, biggest win, highest scoring match, still Portsmouth and Reading. So lost in a row is 21, Ipswich, October to March. About 14 years ago. Without winning 32, that's an old one. Conceding, that's an old one. The most matches without scoring, 11 games without scoring a goal, October to December in 2050. Leeds United, most team goals, that's an old one. Youngest player, 15 years, Derek Foster. Okay, that's an old one. Oldest player, I was going to say that. I saw that bug or glitch with Golden FM's one. We had the 100-year-old player. I was half expecting to see that, but we don't, unfortunately. We do see the fastest goal, 9 seconds, Eden Hazard, Chelsea versus Newcastle in 2019. Youngest goal scorer, 2057, Elliot Brazil, great name. Oldest goal scorer, 46, 197, Billy Meredith, 1921, so that's an old one. We've got that, players. So what we'll go do, we'll go and have a look at FA Cups, see who's 17-18. Chelsea, we've got Man United a couple. Any strange one, there's a lot of Tottenham, Man City still, Everton's. West Brom Rabbit beating West Ham. A few West Ham finals actually. Good few, 3 finals in 4 years. A lot of the same names that are sort of in amongst the league titles, aren't they? Everton, the Newcastles, Tottenham's. Wolves sneak in one there. I think grab a couple actually. Bournemouth grab a good few. Brighton, Palace, Leicester, Newcastle. So now I think at the moment in real life Arsenal hold the most FA Cups, and I think it's something like 18. I might be wrong with that, but let's have a look at overview. Most times we're at 21 Tottenham, so they've got the most league titles. They've now got the most FA Cups as well. Bolton actually, that's got to be a final. 28th of April, semi-final. Okay, 1923. It's an old one. Yeah, it's an old Wembley attendance. Highest average was Tottenham. We won't dwell too much on the player stats of these records. Have a look and see if there's a oldest player. 2019, 40 years old, Danny Bourman. So that's a real record in this game. A real player in the game making the record. So we'll go to the Carabao Cup. So Man City, of course, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, a lot of the big hitters. Southampton with a few, Tottenham have Fulham, steep one in there, Southampton. I don't know who actually has the record for winning the most league cups actually in real life. 17 Tottenham now, that's what we know now. Lowest attendance, 344, Accrington versus Colchester. I mean, it sounds like they missed a classic, so I don't know what that's about. 2025 was high scoring match 7-0, Borough beating Hartlepool. Bit of a local derby there, I believe that is. We're going to go with the European Cup. So yeah, Real Madrid were there sort of 4 in a row. We've got, well they actually won the 4th. They got 3 in a row, but they got the 4th. Oh wow, they just carried that one for a good few years, Real Madrid. We see, Man City grab a couple, Tottenham. Man City in the final a few times, Tottenham in the final as well. Tottenham winning again. Don't tell me Tottenham are going to be the most celebrated team in this. I can't believe Real Madrid have been toppled in that. West Ham grab one. Southampton and West Ham in the final again. West Ham grab a couple actually. Newcastle, so very much reflecting the league. The dominant team in the league, kind of picking up the Europe. Bournemouth get a Champions League. Southampton, Leicester. Wow, and Tottenham in the final, a good few years, and Southampton, Tottenham really picking that up. Who's the most times winner? 22 Real Madrid. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. 2057, 106. Tottenham have probably got the biggest stadium in the world at the moment. It's absolutely crazy. We'll go down. I think I should be able to go down. Yeah, Euro Cup. There we go. So we go down this way here. Real Madrid was there. So Chelsea, Tottenham, Palace have won it. Man United in the finals. Everton, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United in the final. Everton, Chelsea again. Arsenal, Newcastle, Everton, Sevilla win another one there. Everton again, Southampton, Brighton grabbing one, Bournemouth, West Ham. And my nose is running and really blocking right now. I can feel my voice about to go. It's any moment now, so I've got to try and wrap this up. Wolves, Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham. A lot of English domination in this. Sheffield Wednesday grabbing one, bizarrely. In the Estadio Cornellà El Prat, somewhere in Spain. Don't think that's a real stadium. I think that's been regenerated, a new stadium in the game. Let's see, I wanted to check the Ballon d'Or. So here we are for the awards. So we can go to Football of the Year, which I think is the Ballon d'Or equivalent. So if we scroll right down, so Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi and Ronaldo kept it going for a good few years. Isco was the first one to break that domination, with Mbappe and Neymar in second and third. Neymar grabbed it. Bailey got it for a good few years. Brian Rivers, he's a regen at Tottenham. 61 appearances, 32 goals, 17 assists. Wow, okay, Mbappe and Lo Celso, he's a real player. But Brian Rivers got it for a good few years. Jonathan Lopez, another regen. Roberto Ramos at PSG, great name. And Mbappe still floating around at 31 years of age, still doing really well. Ramos got it a few years. Joao Felix at Barcelona at 33 years old. So in 2032, he's probably a young player in the game. Yeah, he's a real player. Anyone real will have this round circle on it because that's the pack I'm using at the moment. Ramos floating around. Is that the Rafa? Who's the real Rafa? No, he's a regen. 27 years old. Brian Rivers are in there again. Sirkovic, another Tottenham player. I mean, obviously these are all regens at this point. So Tracker, I'm just looking to see if there's anyone that can dominate as much as Messi and Ronaldo did, but no one even comes close. A lot of Southampton players in here, sort of taking a claim. Tracker, this guy looks pretty good. He went to PSG eventually from Newcastle. Brazilian striker, 30, yeah, he's not bad, is he? And then if you go to under 21 footballer, did anyone dominate that for a good? I mean, you wouldn't dominate that for too long because you're only under 21 for so long in your career. We don't need to worry about this too much. Who was it in real life at the time? Mbappe, and after that, no one we really know. And then the golden ball. So Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldo. Harry Kane was the first to break it. 57 goals, 57 appearances, 39 goals, not bad. Messi was still there in second, Icardi in third. Mbappe, Kai Havertz, 25-year-old German. He's real, okay, he looks pretty decent. Leon Bailey, of course, moved to PSG, who just did amazingly. Harry Kane in third. Neymar, Bailey, and Mbappe, Havertz again. Mbappe for a good few years, and then it's Roberto Ramos bloke we saw earlier at Tottenham. I think he moved to PSV eventually. No, he's still at Tottenham. Brian Rivers got in there. Huda Makers for PSG. Dutch striker, yeah, pretty good. Diego De Ippolito, great name. Thiago Roberto, I love some of these regen names. And Tracker for Newcastle and then PSG. I mean, that's the domination. That's like, what's that, 9 years he took it for in a row. Absolutely phenomenal. What was he doing by the end of his career? Not amazing, but still enough to win it, obviously. What was he doing like here? 39 goals a season, 29. He's just a crazy player. And Dall'Ora at Juventus was the last one to win it, 24 years old. Panadero. Who's this guy? What nation? He's French. Okay, fair enough. We're going to look at... I think this is actually Ballon d'Or, World Player of the Year. I think the other one earlier wasn't. Ronaldo, Messi, Kane, Mbappe, Neymar, Havertz. A lot of the usual suspects. Mbappe gets nephew, Roberto Ramos, Hudemakers, a few years. I think this is the same as Golden Ball, no? This looks to be the same names, unless it's just chance. We'll go back to the Premier League. So one other thing I wanted to look at. I think I can check it in the Premier League just. Dybala, very early on, remained the most expensive transfer. 144 million from Juventus to Real Madrid. 12 years later, Tottenham to Real Madrid. Barcelona to Tottenham. Michael Douglas. I mean, I'm trying to think of a Michael Douglas film to make that into a pun. I can't think of one. I mean, I guess that signing was just a bit of a basic instinct, wasn't it? Really? Sorry. Marat Lissov, Southampton to Everton, 114 million in 2035. Michael Douglas is there twice. Tottenham to Atletico Madrid and then Barcelona to Tottenham. So Tottenham got him twice. Anyone else? Where's the first real... I mean, Dybala was obviously the first one because he's the top. Where does the next real player come in? Obviously, that was an expensive one. Tracker, we saw him as the best player in the world for about 10 years. There's no one in there. There's only one in the top 10 who's a real player. After that, we're looking at all. Is he the most expensive? Because this one didn't look right. No, he's not the most expensive. Wow, okay. No, we're not. Okay, so Niall Hill-Jenkins, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, moved 16 years ago, something like that, with Cardiff to Southampton for 183 million. Now, I assume Cardiff are rich. Secure. How are you secure after selling someone for £200 million? Okay, it's a long time ago, but still. Oliveira to Real Madrid to Southampton. So Southampton spending some big bucks. I mean, that was 12 years apart, but still. Dybala's sort of that there in the list. Douglas there. Tracker. Douglas. Yes, only... Did we say Dybala was in there? Dybala. I think he is actually the only real one, I think. Yeah. So that's absolutely crazy. So I think we can now go back to the Premier League. If I go to transfers, if I go to... Okay, so this doesn't have leading. So you can't check just the Premier League, unfortunately. But I think that wraps up all we need to look at sort of 50 years into the future. If you do want to see another video where I go maybe another 20, 50, let me know in the comments, you know, which you'd prefer me to do, 20 or 50. If you do want to see it, let me know. I'll do another video. I'll see if these clubs do sort of bounce back and sort of have a resurgence in fortunes and you can sort of challenge again for the top honours, or are they just so far behind now that 2050 isn't enough for them to make an impact? Who knows? If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a like down below, drop a sub if you're new to the channel as well, and any comments, like I've mentioned, about what I've said or mentioned, or anything just random or different, let me know. Anything you want to see, so if I do that second video, I can always touch upon that before I skip forward. Again, let me know. And until next time, which should hopefully be on Monday with my new series. I've dropped the trailer already, so it's Cole Shorten. I did drop a video before explaining what my save is going to be, but I've dropped an official trailer now a week ago today. I think it should have been out. So if you're interested in that, do come by as well. And yeah, until then, I'll see you later. Take care.